episode 16 of the COVID Connection. I'm Andy. This is Ted. We're coming to you live from the garage. It's a little chilly outside, a little wet, so we moved it indoors. Weather's changed here in beautiful downtown.
Well, it's spring. Spring in Lake Tahoe brings, very...
It's Memorial. Isn't Memorial Day coming up? It's going to snow.
Is it coming up? Actually,
May 25th. Anyways, welcome. Today we
that was such a heartwarming welcome. I almost felt like I needed a cup of coffee or something. Just sit down and
Jimmy
relax.
Kimmel and Fallon, and I really like how they do that on their show. And I'm thinking one day we might,
Cool. Well, thank you, Andy. Thank you.
Okay, so I do remember what we were talking about, which was memory.
You said remember, and that jogged my memory.
We wanted to talk about how sometimes you have a memory that you have this was the way it happened, and then someone else that was involved in that memory is telling you, no, that's not how it happened at all.
Well, it's very clear and it's very vivid. Let's take a very significant event. And within a couple of years...
Didn't you have one?
I have one, as a matter of fact. But what I'm saying is, 20 years later, things are just not quite as clear, even with the significant event being... you take all the little things, I can't remember anything, but even the big events are distorted and maybe slightly inaccurate.
All the details.
So, and that's why I bring it up. So there was this one event. I'd like to go through it with you just briefly, because it's very interesting.
Yeah.
But I think the story isn't so much the podcast as the reaction or the memory of the story. So a very significant story. My brother and I were involved with my parents driving us home one night. A very long story short, we were put on top of a car. Wait
a minute. You said your parents driving you home one night, and then you said putting on top of the car.
Well, we were on top of the car for a very short period of time, and then what was supposed to happen is they were supposed to stop, and then we were to get out or get from the top of the car into the car, and we would travel the rest of the way home.
So this was just doing a very short drive.
Yeah, we'd be on top. Yeah, and it was kind of just a fun thing because it was behind some gates, and it
wasn't on a major highway.
No. In fact, it was it was on a very short road.
That sounds harmless.
Yeah.
Until
they forgot. And we were on top of the car the rest of the way home, which is a little more burly, maybe significantly burly. I'm talking like maybe at points going 50, 55. There was one point.
That sounds like a pretty significant event.
Switchbacks. it was serious.
And you guys were on the roof.
There was a roof rack, and there was 3 of us, and we were hanging on. And when we got to the top of the private drive that we were at, we all looked at each other. We figured that they had now forgotten because they had pulled onto the actual highway or whatever, the drive. And we looked and should we say anything? Should we not? Should we go for this? Should we not? We were teenagers. We go, hey, let's do this. And we drove home. So that's not the story. But although that's interesting to say the least, we made it home. We got off. Everything was. My parents were shocked when they remembered. Anyway. Over the years, my brother has come to say that he doesn't now even remember, he might not remember that even happened.
Well, now wait a minute. Your brother was on the roof with you.
Yes.
How could he not remember? How could he might not remember?
That's what I'm saying. So, that's what I'm saying.
I might not remember.
Okay, well, that's where I'm going with memory. It's a funny thing. So, I very vividly and clearly remember the 3 people who were involved, what happened that night, everything that
Who's
went
the
down.
third guy?
A guy named Joe Arsenal.
Have you called Joe?
I have not.
You
But
gotta call Joe,
I
man.
know. Okay. All right.
I'll settle
Well,
that.
well, it's not, he's going to say yes, it happened because it happened. I mean,
Okay, well,
so
there
the
you
bottom line is. But now the funny thing is Steve, my brother, is now saying, I'm not sure that it happened. I'm like, dude, you know that it happened. Then he's like, you're right. I agree. It happened. We're done. I go, okay, man, you're talking crazy. And then within a year of us, when we discuss it, it was not like we discuss it every day, so
Right.
5 years later, I say, hey, remember the story? He's like, God, dude, I don't know. And I'm like, whoa, do we have to go through this again? And
Seriously.
yes. So he's unsure of the event even happened.
That's kind of bizarre.
And he was there. And it was significant at the
He's
time.
unsure. Yeah, that's.
So we were probably 15 or 50 now, so 35 years ago. But what's funny is memory. I guess that's where we get to the point. I think you had a story too. Is that, over 35 years later, you might not even remember. I mean, it happened. Not only did it happen, but it was significant, and he might not even remember it.
Yeah, that's kind of bizarre. Well, this one, I guess this event for me is 2 people, or 3 in this case, having different memories of the same event. And so this one was, we were
How could that be?
you're all, well, which window are you looking through?
Yeah.
But we were all in a VW van. This guy picked us up.
We being your brothers.
Myself and my 2 brothers. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
And we were cruising on the way to Hana. I don't remember. I think he picked us up at the Wainapa airport. But the guy went around a turn, and Brother Tom leaned up against the door or something inside the van. The thing popped open, and Tom went flying out and came back with some road rash.
How fast you guys think we're going?
We were probably doing at least, because it was a pretty windy road, so we were probably doing 20, 25 maybe around the turn. So Tom was tough. Brothers,
right?
Yeah. So we were talking about this event years later, and I go, oh yeah, I remember that time, and they go, you weren't there. I'm like, what? You weren't there. I'm like, what do you mean I wasn't there? I was in the fucking van with you,
Yeah.
And they're saying I wasn't there. I don't know if Jeff said that too. Tom for sure is saying I wasn't there. And then I'm going, well, then if I wasn't there, where was I? Because we were all together. That's what we hung back in those days. But anyway, yeah, weird deal. Or he's just saying, he's flat out saying I wasn't there. Same event. And I'm going, well, what do you mean? I have the vision of that door sliding open and then falling out. I don't know how I would have that vision if I wasn't
Let me
there.
ask you this. Is it possible that vision was implanted on you based on them? Yes. Do you have any doubts? Do you have any doubts that you were there? That's what I'm talking about. So here's the other thing about my brother and my story. Fuck yeah, I'm thinking to myself, if he's thinking that,
maybe it didn't happen.
well, shit, maybe it didn't happen. But I know it did.
I know.
I know it did. That's the difference.
So hey, that's what we're talking about. That's the story. That's the topic of the day.
I got one more.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Oh, slide it
This is
on
my
in.
own memory. And the reason it came to fruition is that I got deposed from I work at the fire department, and there was a call that went to some sort of a lawsuit of sorts, and they brought me and my partner in and discussed the call with us, and they wanted me to go through what, they had specific questions regarding the call. I didn't remember anything about the call. I almost wondered.
How much longer after the call was it?
A couple of years.
Oh.
And it was a very significant call, and it was a very, it was a very traumatic situation for everybody, and including myself and my partner. I don't really remember much about that call. And they said, okay, well, tell me about your role in this call. And I explained what my role was. And then they said, it's our understanding that you drove the ambulance after the call. And I did. I did. So, there was a few things that I just couldn't, I think I blocked out. I'm not sure if I blocked them out on purpose.
It's just,
or...
after doing so many calls and so many TCs, certain details of those calls kind of maybe intermingle with others. It's like, was that one when we had a helicopter? No, it was the other. Was down at the end of the summit, whatever.
Yep.
They start, and so
they get mixed up.
Yeah,
they get mixed up for sure.
And but of course you remember the significant parts of that call, like, oh yeah, I remember that person that went over. It was a red pickup truck or whatever.
Yeah.
But
I think even those start fading.
Yeah.
I mean, that's where
I don't know if they. Yeah, I guess they do.
They fade and they mix and they become harder to distinguish and the doubts creep in and.
Yeah, I mean, looking back on my career, I mean, I never was deposed for any calls, so that was a good thing. I never had to recall back certain years, but just telling stories over the years and personal memories. There's a lot of them that seem to fade away, but the significant ones you definitely remember. But some of those details, they're gone.
Not so much.
So the memory thing, yeah.
Interesting.
I think they.
Well, hey, if you guys have forgotten what you've been watching, it was a memory.
It's the COVID Connection, episode 16.
Nice. So we have actually now moved to COVID Connection. Are we there? I mean, is that what we're doing now?
Oh, well, I don't know. We could.
I mean, do I change the thing up and make the whole?
Ooh.
Maybe we should just try it out for a little, just to see how things go.
I think, we probably get a lot more viewers if you threw the word COVID in there.
Well, right. We'll think about that. Well, keep it up. Yeah. Comments.
Thanks for watching.
Peace.
I was in the van.